Good afternoon. Welcome to another trading recap. I'm going to go over today of AMD trade. It was a nice, good 100% move, especially on the small accounts. We started an account at 1K. Currently, so far, it just reached 4K today. It took a total of 5 weeks, but we're taking it slowly. 3 to 4 contracts, depending on how good I see the entry. Then I'll take a little more risk on it. But I do not risk more than 10% of the account. And yeah, let's just go over this really quick. So this is the play that we took today, right? I'm gonna show you guys on the 15-minute. We took this play right after that breakout of 72.79. You guys can see here, trimmed right exactly at 75.31. So first off, a lot of traders like to talk about like just what their entry was and this and that, but I am gonna tell you how I caught this. All right, so I'm gonna go over the 4-hour. And the same, I'm gonna show you guys how I get my levels, which is just by going on the 4-hour, right? So I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna show you just by looking at the 4-hour. I'm looking at the price movement and price action at where it takes off all the time. The best price, which was around 72.95, right? What I do is I have putting big levels, white, pretty thick white line, to show me how price reacted around this area. So 72.90, you notice that buyers were always stepping up, correct? So you can always see that it pushes up to the next level, which I will get this wick with 79.12, and also right at the bottom here. So I had these levels on lock. I was watching these breakouts either below or above, but we could see that it broke out yesterday, right? It was barely, not broke out, but it bounced off at that 67.29. So what I was trying to look for is my entries for that breakout at 72.67, right? So how did I know it was going to break out? First off, it's an uptrend. You can see it's creating higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher high, higher low, bounced off. If it breaks this, we have a potential move all the way to 79.12. So the thing is that once I go to the 4-hour, I go to my hourly to see my entries. All right, so one thing I do notice is the same way that I got my 4-hour was that this area, it kept bouncing off the whole time. So instead of putting a white line which will show me the bigger levels, I have this as a key level. Okay, so I had this as a key level. I went back again just to find out what else is going on, and you can see how the price action reacted here at 74.96, right? That bounce, how it keeps pushing the price down. As soon as it broke, it came back up. You see how it stalls here. So that's another level there that I had. These are the two levels that I had, 77.09, 77.06. So we go back, and you can see how those levels reacted back here. So I usually choose the 1-hour and the 4-hour to find my levels. And so far, let's go to the 5-minute just so you guys can see what I entered on. So what I was looking for at the morning was a nice little bounce to 70.52. That's exactly what I wanted. But at the end, I could end up seeing that it broke out, right? You see a nice bullish engulfing covering all these candles, which I like using candlestick patterns. And as soon as I saw a lot of momentum coming on this green candle, I took my position in because you do have a move to the upside. So this candle closed at 72.90, so that was exactly my entry. So as you guys know, I love using EMAs, but I do look at candlesticks because I do know traders love using EMAs, and as soon as I know that they're using that and price action is going with it, I could tell that everybody's just buying there. So it gives me momentum as a boost, right? So I'm gonna turn on the indicators that I use, which is just the cloud, which is a basic 9 EMA to 21. So I noticed that it was bullish just off the beginning. And as soon as it broke out, I got in. My stop loss was below that candle, so this was my execution. My area to exit was exactly at 75.09. So this was my entry, right? My stop loss was right here. I entered pretty heavy. I think it was around 15 contracts on the small account, made over 100%. That the contracts weren't that expensive, so I ended up making above $600 to $700 on this move. I trimmed more than half of the contracts, which are 75%. Usually I trade if I trade 10 to 15, I will take off 75% of them, to keep 3 runners and let the runners just run. So I literally just got out at that 75.09. Perfect example. Just got out, left my 3 runners in there, and just let them go. From there on out, I just had my stop loss below this level, just in case it broke out, and I just kept the runners. And you can see at the end of the day, it just kept pumping up, right? You can see how that price action kept going. Obviously, it was a stress-free trade after this because it was all runners. The runners at the end of the day, before the market closed, I noticed that it broke out of this high, of that day's high, today's high, and I just left it. I just got out. I left the runner at the end of the day and just trimmed the rest, and it's just a free trade. So yeah, just really simple. I just looked at candles. You can see on the 15-minute also how aggressive it looked. So I use a multi-time frame analysis. You can see how this candle just is a nice green candle with volume, and that gives you a confirmation that the next one will be green. And yeah, you can see that breakout at 72.90, and just took it straight out to here. Alright, you guys, have a good night, and I'll be putting up more of these more often. I usually don't, but now I have to be really strict on showing you guys my moves. You guys can see how smooth and why I only have those levels to kind of give me some space to trade. Alright, good night. Have a good rest of the good night.